Have you ever wondered how something so massive, so heavily guarded, and so valuable as the world's largest gold reserve could simply vanish without a trace? How tons of gold, locked away beneath some of the most secure facilities on Earth, just disappeared? This isn't just a story of theft. This is something deeper, something darker. What if I told you this wasn't just about greed or power? What if it was part of a grand design? A plan older than any bank, older than any empire. A plan crafted by the Prince of Darkness himself. Today, we dive into a story that begins with vaults and ends with shadows. A story that involves world governments, secret societies, ancient texts, and modern warfare. This is the story of how the largest gold reserve in human history disappeared, and why some believe it was Satan's plan all along. The story begins in the heart of the 20th century, during the end of World War II. As the Axis powers fell and the Allied forces moved across Europe, vast treasures looted by the Nazis were uncovered. Among these were trains filled with gold, hidden in mountain bunkers, lakes, even under entire cities. But the largest haul wasn't in Germany. It was in the Philippines. Known as the Yamashita Gold, this treasure was reportedly buried by Japanese forces under General Tomoyuki Yamashita. It was said to be worth hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions of dollars today. But as American intelligence officers moved in, much of that gold was quietly seized. Not documented, not reported to Congress, but taken, used, and hidden. At the center of this was a secretive network called the Black Eagle Trust. Officially, it didn't exist, but insiders say it became a shadow treasury, using this untraceable gold to finance covert operations. Coups, assassinations, propaganda campaigns. Wars were won, leaders installed, nations collapsed, all funded by invisible gold. But this was only the beginning. Fast forward to the 1970s. The world had been operating on the gold standard for decades. Every dollar was backed by real gold, until President Nixon took the United States off the gold standard in 1971. This move changed everything. Paper money no longer represented real wealth. It was just paper. And the gold? It vanished from public view, locked deep inside Fort Knox and other vaults around the world. Or so they told us. Here's where it gets strange. Fort Knox, which supposedly holds over 147 million ounces of gold, hasn't been fully audited in decades. Some insiders and former officials suggest the vaults are empty, or worse, filled with tungsten bars painted to look like gold. Independent researchers, whistleblowers, even a few congressmen have raised alarms, but every investigation is stonewalled. The question remains, if the gold is gone, where did it go? Now, we turn to a more disturbing theory. Throughout history, gold has always represented divine power, from Egyptian temples to Vatican vaults. It wasn't just wealth, it was spiritual, it was pure. But what if this purity was targeted, not by men, but by forces beyond them? Ancient texts across civilizations, from the Sumerians to the Hebrews, speak of fallen angels, demonic rulers, and their obsession with gold. The Book of Enoch describes beings descending from the heavens, teaching man sorcery, warfare, and mining. The Watchers, the Nephilim, entities who were cast down, yet still seek influence through man's greed. Some believe that over the last century, Shimon, not as a horned myth, but as a force of control and deception, has been manipulating humanity's obsession with wealth to trap it, to enslave it by removing gold from circulation, replacing it with fiat currency, and digitizing all money. He cuts our link to real, tangible value. He creates a world where power can be taken with a keystroke, and the gold, it vanishes into private hands, Offshore vaults, underground bunkers owned by shadowy elites, bloodlines who have ruled silently for centuries. The gold doesn't disappear. It is hidden, guarded, not by armies but by oaths, by ancient pacts. Let's not forget the Vatican. It's estimated that the Catholic Church holds the largest amount of gold in the world. Gold hidden behind sacred walls, never to be audited. Why? Why does a spiritual institution need such material wealth? Some researchers believe the Vatican is a gatekeeper, that it knows where the gold is and why it must be kept from the world. Because whoever controls gold controls power, and power corrupts completely. Then there's China. Over the past 30 years, China has quietly accumulated massive amounts of gold while offloading US debt. It's not just economic strategy, it's preparation. For what? A new currency, a gold-backed yuan, a digital world order where the East rises and the West falls, economically, politically, spiritually. Some see this as part of the prophecy in Revelation. The dragon rises, the beast demands worship, and a new mark, not of ink but of code, becomes the only way to buy or sell. And so we return to the gold. Where is it? Some say it lies in underground vaults in Switzerland, hidden behind 10 layers of shell companies. Others say it's been smelted, recast and stored in Antarctica, guarded by military bases with no national flag. The most chilling theory? It has been sacrificed, melted down in demonic rituals meant to break humanity's bond to truth. If gold is purity, then destroying it symbolically destroys our connection to the divine. Is this too far-fetched? Maybe. But consider this. How can trillions of dollars worth of gold simply vanish, and no one is held accountable? No global audits, no arrests, no investigations, just silence, distraction, inflation, control. What if the plan wasn't just to steal gold, but to steal belief, to remove hope, to shift power from the many to the few? Because in the end, the disappearance of gold isn't about gold. It's about enslavement. It's about a new world where Satan's plan is complete. A world without truth, without freedom, without God. A world ruled not by kings or presidents, but by shadows. A system so perfect, you don't even realize you're inside it. The gold is gone, but the plan is still unfolding, and the clock is ticking.